Welcome to the Java Cafe, Java fam. Good morning. Welcome to the Java Cafe, Java fam.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Good morning. Today is Monday, December 20th, 2021, and it is Mental Health Monday. Welcome to the Java Cafe. Good to see you all in the room today. Y'all know I'm authentic and going to do my best to stay, I guess, focused and keep myself together. On yesterday, we lost, I don't know if it was yesterday before, but the word got out yesterday that a pillar in Boston, in Roxbury, a black man, someone who was committed to community, someone who was unapologetically black, someone who invested in his community, a small black-owned business owner, a barber. And if you're familiar with neighborhood dynamics, hood dynamics, you know that the barber is your counselor, your authenticity checker, in my case. And this morning, we are just holding space and acknowledging and naming the passing and transition of our brother Allah, who was the owner of Everything is Real Barbershop in Roxbury. He was a good brother. He was a good brother that loved this community. And it's Mental Health Monday. And so many, again, within our community are mourning, grieving, celebrating a life of however you frame it. And I just wouldn't be me if we didn't hold space and just celebrate the life of this great brother and the legacy that he leaves behind. Brother Allah was definitely a good brother. I think I only heard him call me by my name once or twice, and that was usually in a heated discussion. I was young man and Mr. Hill. I was never Mr. Hills to him, never. Mr. Hill. And he promoted health. He promoted mindfulness. He promoted sort of what some would classify as being the third eye, being aware of things going on in our community. And we had a lot of debates. I started going to him when I was at Hibernian Hall for something, and I walked by the barbershop and I saw old school barbering, the razor, the hot rag after they shave your face. He had the old school barber light, whatever, in there, and excellence exuded from my first impression of him. And so I started going to him on a weekly basis. And I put up a post earlier, and he said that I was his favorite, busiest person because the only thing that we would ever argue about is the fact that I would make an appointment. And if I made the appointment at 2:00, I walked in at 1:58 and expected to be in the chair at 2. And sometimes at 2:40, 2:50, I'm looking at him cross-eyed. I'm threatening to leave. And he had a his spirit was one that was calming, and a lot of things, didn't rock him. And so it's just this is one where I actually was asking people, is it confirmed? I wanted it to be a lie. I wanted it to be one of those rumors that we put somebody in the grave before they're even there. I wanted that to be the case today. So to his family, to his prince, to his king, to his grandchild, um, know that he leaves a legacy of service, and he leaves a legacy of just re- when it talks about when you talk about community, he comes to mind. He put on a barbecue every year for the community as a thank you and gave away big flat screen TVs, bikes. Just he was a really giving brother. And so a pillar in our community is standing stronger, just on a different plane. And definitely probably went and started fighting and asking, yo, where's Jesus? I need to talk to Jesus. And so I couldn't proceed with our usual programming without acknowledging um, that great man. And I still, there's a part of me that hopes there's a phone call that just says it was just a unfortunate, terrible, horrific rumor. But to everyone um, in Roxbury and in Boston that knew and loved him, um, and was touched by his influence in his life. We hold space for you. We stand with you, and we celebrate his life. Um, and yeah, I'm gonna go into the cafe and see who's in here this morning. Forgive me, but y'all know this is a very authentic space. And yeah, I thought I got it all out last night, but yeah. Good morning to everybody that is in the room. Good morning, Ma. Good morning. Good to see you in the room. Rena, good morning. Good to see you in the room. Gail, good morning. Good to see you in the room. You make me smile. Think about all that you're doing. If I'm a little delayed in following up, please excuse me. Pastor Marion, good morning. Good to see you in the room. Tasha, good. Whew. Tasha, good morning. Good to see you in the room. Sharon Cornelius. Sharon Cornelius. Sharon Cornelius. Good to see you in the room, and it was good to see your face in the place on Saturday and photo bombing in the pictures with the electeds and whatnot. Good to see you, Sharon, in the room. Good to see you, Sister Debbie. Good to see you in the room as well. I have Dr. Brandy lined up to come in at 9:15, and I might just have to turn this over to her a little bit. But Pastor Marion says she's at peace this morning. And Nikki, good morning. Kelly, good morning. Good to see you in the room. Good to see you in the room. Gail, thank you. Thank you. Pray for his family. Pray for our community. Because we just one on top of another. I also would want to acknowledge, for those of you that are in the church world, and familiar with the Churches of God in Christ, Bishop Winbush transition this weekend as well. And so it's just one after the other. Hey, Lasagna, one of our Roxbury Pillars passed this morning. Thaddeus, good morning. Good to see you in the room. Dr. Brandy, if you're watching, come on in and just help me get myself together. I asked her to come in at 9:15. She's probably trying to get herself together. But this is what we do as a community. We come together and we talk about those that have transitioned and those that we love. So, Dr. Brandy, where are you, Jesus? I don't want to end early. Let me just go to this. Wanted to let you, some of you all may heard or seen my post or seen Darren's post for various reasons, and he's going to talk a little bit about it at 1 p.m. But Darren Howell is coming into the room this afternoon for a special edition of Black Mental Wealth. In our previous Black Mental Wealth segments, we've talked with Naisha Deed of Pure Spark and also Jelani of Ambition to the City. And we talked about this time of year not going into debt. And we know that this brother for 13 years has ensured that a lot of families don't go without when it comes to what our young people, associate with Christmas, with toys and gifts and wrapping and things under the tree on Christmas morning. And he's done so much for so many years. And he's going to come at 1 p.m. And put a different perspective on Black mental wealth. But he's going to come and talk with us today at 1 p.m. And then also on tomorrow, and I didn't have this queued up. Let me get this ready. There are rather a lot of questions about the vaccination. The vaccination has been now approved for children as young as the age of 5 and up. And I know a lot of our parents have questions. And so tomorrow morning at 9 a.m., in the next edition of Your Healthy Java, Dr. Aisha James is going to join us, and also Dr. Samira, I'm not going to mess it up. Dr. Sanchez is going to join us as well. She is the Director of Infectious Disease from the Boston Public Health Commission. And so, oh God, I can't see. It's just getting 9:15. Okay, so Dr. Brandy's not late. But we're going to talk about my children, and the vaccine. You will be able to ask questions of both of these doctors tomorrow. Please keep in mind that this is a novel virus, which means new. This is a new vaccination. The science behind it is not new, but it itself is a new vaccination. And so, as adults, we'll take risk and do things. And now parents are faced with the decision of whether they will get their children vaccinated. And the interesting thing that we're observing is that a lot of the positivity rate is very high in children. Talked to a BPS official yesterday, and their numbers are high within BPS with their positive cases. They're pool testing. And so I'll actually ask one of them to explain that tomorrow. On Wednesday morning, you're stuck with me. We need to know. And then on Thursday morning, we have the Honorable Representative Elizabeth Miranda. She is the state representative for the 5th Suffolk District here in the state of Massachusetts. And she's going to come in and talk about her work. And as I've stated before, her along with Nika El-Ugaro, who was my guest last week, they both are running for the 2nd Suffolk District seat. And so she's going to come in and talk about her work and also talk about her candidacy. I think I'm good. I'm trying to see where Dr. Brandy is, but there she is. There's Dr. Brandy. And so I'm pretty good now. But we're going to bring Dr. Brandy in, and we had something slated that we were going to talk about, but I texted her this morning and let her know that we may need to shift some things a little bit. So Dr. Brandy, good morning.
Morning, James.
Good to see you.
How you doing?
I'm maintaining my words. And I didn't want to tell you on text, and I'm sure you knew and met and had the pleasure of as you went throughout Roxbury this year. And so my word for today is I'm maintaining. So I'm going to put you on camera for a second. And I'll look out for you in case it hits you, because I know how we are. If we see somebody else hurting, we hurt.
Yeah.
So I'll stay here with you. And we were scheduled to talk about, I believe it was perspective end of the year. So let me look. But say good morning, Dr. Brandy, and let us know what your word is for this morning. And I'll check our text thread.
Yeah. My word for today is I don't even know, because when James texted me, my space went into a different direction. So I would say my word for today is adapting.
Yeah. It is, and we do that.
Yeah.
We do that as a people. That word resilience, is such a
Mhm.
popular, sexy word, but we become resilient and we always adapt. That's just who we
Mhm.
are and what we do. You know what I mean? And so, thank you, Dr. Brandy, for being sensitive and just I feel your vibe through
Yeah.
connect and
I when you sent me the message, I immediately went to Facebook and saw the condolences because I didn't know. I don't sometimes when I wake up in the morning, I don't immediately go to checking social media and whatnot. And it reminded me of one of my first encounters with Allah, because you know
I can go ahead,
yeah,
I can imagine
he is somebody who does not hold his tongue, right?
at all.
And as y'all know, you talk to me for 5 seconds, you know I'm not native to Boston, right? and so and it was a few years ago. The Roxbury Unity Parade was giving Everything is Real, him, and just his work. We were giving him an award, a Pillar of the Community Award.
Pillar.
Yeah, and so I remember he couldn't come to the parade, so Toy and myself we went to go like hand deliver it, right? And when I tell y'all, he like read us and was like, I need to make before I accept this award, I need to make sure that y'all are for the community, want the community to grow. And let me give you also a little history of the community. For y'all, it was 45 minutes. We like we were like, well, here's this award. And he was like, yeah. And so, and then started to sit down in one of his chairs. We were like, Lord, we're gonna be here all day.
He would
you
definitely
know,
talk.
yeah. And like, but it was such a great experience though, because you like even in that interaction, you could tell his love for the community and just how much knowledge he had, and I remember going to an event once and they said that in our community when you lose an elder, however you define an elder,
Mhm.
you lose a library. And that is true, of just his presence and what he brought. And again, when I saw the message, I immediately went back to that encounter, that one of my first encounters with him, because it was so him. And embodied everything he is in terms of interacting, engaging, but also letting the real.
He did. Everything is real, and that
Yeah.
he did really. You could not get anything past him regarding politicians. I met him when I was working for Mayor Menino, and oh boy, and he wouldn't start until he was in the middle of not at the beginning or at the end, in the middle of cutting my hair, and I would have to just sit there and listen and debate. And I would get all emotional and defensive, and he would start breaking it down. And even when we talked in September, last time he cut my hair was on September 28th of this year. And we talked. And it's so interesting because he said he was always an affirming brother, but he said some things to me in that last time and talking with him face to face, where he affirmed a level of maturity and not always being defensive. And I don't know if he said tough skin, but it was. And now to think about it, it was a very interesting convo, but definitely someone that exuded community, someone that exuded excellence, and someone that really practiced what he preached. And you talked about the Roxbury Community Parade. What was your interaction with him when you told him you was running for office? Ah!
Yeah, that's gonna stay a private. That's gonna stay a private conversation, private interaction. That's between me, Jesus,
And
and him.
Allah.
That's,
And we laugh like that, Dr. B, because if you knew him, you got an ear full, a brain full, a frontal lobe full, and then the other side of your ear full till it was spilling out.
Mhm.
And so it is definitely a testament to who he was as a person. And so, Dr. B, is kind of interesting today. I appreciate the time and you set aside, but it just, I don't want to fake the funk,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know, and just not going to hold you long. But it just, I put up a prayer last week, and really, I'm at Jesus, like, can we get a break?
Mhm.
And that's and we'll hold this space. That's a reality for a lot of us, and we've talked about it the last few weeks. This time of the year, for various reasons, you know, a lot of people are in the first time, in the second time, or the fourth or 10th, you know,
Mhm.
they're missing, you know, someone that's not at the table this year. And so it's just, you know, important that we remember that, you know, feelings like this. And I'm going to do well. I don't know if Quincy's in the room, but I'm going to drink water.
Mhm.
And you know, not a heavy day, not a heavy week. And so I'm putting this out there to hold myself accountable around
Yeah.
self-care. But drinking water is, Dr. Brandy, we know when we deal with these feelings, toxins, if I'm correct,
Mhm.
they build our stress, our emotions, the
They
impact,
build up.
they build up. And
Yeah.
that's where sometimes you get shoulder pain or you get headaches or whatever. And so, are you familiar with, I'm sure you are, but the philosophy of hydrating when you're
Mhm.
dealing with this? I basically used to tell the young people in you know, trauma sessions or after a homicide, y'all need to drink water so you can pee.
Mhm.
I would just really just leave it like that, and to flush out those toxins.
Mhm.
And so, Dr. Brandy, anything you want to say in that space, just in reference
Yeah.
to,
I mean, I guess the thing I would say is grief is one of the most powerful emotions that we will ever experience, and whether someone's passing is expected or unexpected, the pain and the process can be the same.
yeah,
And so, during this time as we enter into the holidays and we mourn loved ones, neighbors, pillars, just remember that is that it is a process and we experience it differently. And so we need to hold space for each other and hold space for our grief. And something I think I'm gonna myself do more of is kind of what I call you good. And so,
yeah,
maybe on the Java with Jimmy, I'll kind of initiate the you good campaign
okay,
where we just check in with each other. Because again, if we're talking about, moving as a community and really looking towards community healing and really addressing community traumas and community inequities, then as a community we need to check in
yeah,
and say, look, are you good? And it does not require, I'm not talking about something where you're talking to somebody you don't have a relationship with. I'm just talking about something as simple as when you're walking down the street, just saying hello, just giving somebody a smile. You don't know
go for
what someone else is going through, and you don't know how much that smile might mean to them in that moment. I've talked to many individuals that are survivors of homicide, survivors of suicides, and they will say that something that happened on those days literally help change their minds, their perspective, their feelings, their hearts. And so let's just check in. You good?
you go.
That's it. You good? And the one thing I'd like to say, because I saw it earlier in the timeline, is it was so beautiful seeing everybody on Saturday.
Yeah, yep,
In
Saturday.
the live space, seeing Sharon Cornelius, um, and Asia and some others. But it was so good. And I just want to, because I believe this will be our last Mental Health Monday for the year,
This year, yes.
I do want to say is that I am so appreciative of this space. I am so appreciative of all of you that tune in. And from the bottom of my heart, thank you, because this is helpful for me, just being in this space, being able to share with you, grow with you, learn with you, cry with you if we need to, laugh. It is healing. And as we go into this next week, losing this pillar of the community, and we go through the emotions and the stages of grief. Let's just check in on one another. Let's again, you good. And, and make sure we hold space, because it is going to be difficult over the next week and weeks. And as we move into a new year and try to think about how 2021 was for us individually, collectively, and try to think about what things we want to do differently, see differently, be differently in 2022. And sometimes that means thinking about those we lost. So I really want to just be mindful of that and be thankful of that. And I know we don't want to take too much time this morning, but I am truly, truly thankful for this space, and being part of this. And I look forward to 2022, just because I know, James, you are moving and, becoming your own pillar and voice of the community. And I'm really just so thankful.
And Dr. Brandy, I thank you, and thank you for this. Will pull us back in. Thank you for stepping in and being the registrar on Saturday. That'll help us real quick. Dr. Brandy came in, they was early, and I'm like, y'all too early. And then I turned around, I said, can you do registration? And it wasn't set up, it wasn't anything. She just unpacked and did it. And so it's just a testament, Dr. Brandy, to the type of person you are. I knew that I heard something when we shifted you to Mondays, to the mornings. You know what I mean? It just, this has definitely been a godsend. You are a godsend. Thank you for being so transparent. Thank you for the
okay, James. This ain't let's trade off on crime. like look,
listen. We're intentional about our being authentic, and then we're intentional about self-care and whatnot. And no, we just have to celebrate you, Dr. Brandy, because this is a sacrifice to come in, because we take this stuff on. And so as much as it is, and I concur, over that first year, as much as people said I helped them, this does help folks like us, either the accountability, the responsibility, rushing around from 8:55 to 8:59 getting ready, but it does help us. Okay, and I got to Jen. I'll forward it to Dr. Brandy of her dog Molly. I'll make sure. And Sharon Cornelius.
Let me say a proper goodbye with Coco.
Yes, and Heidi in here. Love you too, Heidi. Look at Coco.
Yeah, but no,
Coco don't feel like being bothered today.
Yeah, she like I'm over it.
Coco, hi Coco. See, that got her attention.
She like, hold on, somebody calling my name.
Coco.
Yeah, somebody calling me. But no, I like James, truly, like these spaces, I don't think people realize how much they help us as we are, because it can be hard to, and have that on you. I remember going to an event that I had the pleasure, Congresswoman Presley was at. It was a Black mental health event, put on by the Melanated group. And I remember going to it, and she mentioned how, being a congresswoman is such an honor. It's so, and especially serving her community is so great, but it can also be heavy. And it can also be a weight. And so, while I'm thankful being in this space, and I'm thankful folks, recognize me when I'm out on the street and stuff, hey, Dr. B, but it's a lot. And I take it that it is a responsibility, that I always want to step into this space correct, that I always want to make sure I'm serving with the right motive, and and so that's important to me. And also it is heavy at times, and so I'm so appreciative. Everybody saying, hey Coco, and helping me. And I remember when I met Rachel for the first time in person, and she was like, Dr. B, you were so helpful. And I was like, you are so, like, this is helpful, just being here and you saying that, because I don't often, with the virtual space, you don't often get that same feedback that I do when I used to teach. Like, I know my students bored. I can see it on their faces. Like, like, look, you teaching at 7 a.m., it's rough sometimes, you know. So, but no, this space is so amazing, and again, I'm just thankful I'm able to be a small part. As you know, you become national. You know, I'm just saying, speaking into an existence, 2022 Bostonian of the year. Just saying. It's just
We were so glad to have Dr. Brandy in the room this morning. No, sir, Dr. Brandy. I really love and appreciate you. And thank you for it's not a small part, it's a huge part from when I was on the radio, even more so now. And even our working together. And shout out to Toy Burton, because we wouldn't function, I think, the same way that we do without that connection to also with Dee Dee's Cry. And so we want to mention Dee Dee's Cry and Toy as well. Toy also had a recent transition of a loved one as well. And so we want to lift her up. Lasagna, who's in the room here as well. So many. We want to keep, I'm going to ask you guys just to keep someone by the name of Sheena in prayer. Not Ashinya Kala locally from Boston, but just keep Sheena in prayer, that that there'd be quick healing, that as well. And also I put up a post the other day, and I'll let you go in 1 second, Dr. Brandy. Thaddeus is in the room, and we requested prayer for a family member of his. I didn't see the comment. I saw your name, Thaddeus. I ain't messing with you. So
hey, national.
So anyway, Dr. Brandy.
Yeah. And I see a comment from Sharon about imposter syndrome. And that is definitely something I wanted to talk about.
Okay.
Because, but maybe not today. We were going to do like a reflection, because I think it's real when you get to certain spaces, you're like, this can't be like how, and especially when community is hurting and everything's going on, you're like, how do I still celebrate my small successes when there's so much pain, when there's so much.
We can definitely,
but yeah, I definitely want to, I just want to acknowledge that, I definitely want us to talk about that as we go into 2022.
Yes,
and also, I know, James, you're always intentional about this, and I want to be intentional too, is as we go into the holiday season, New Year's parties, those types of things, be intentional about your health, your physical health, and spaces that you are in. The Omarion, Omicron, whatever you want to call it, is real.
It is.
And the numbers are rising. And so we need to, as a community, as we hold space for other things this holiday, hold space for your health. Please
hold my God, hold space for your health. Go ahead.
Hold space for your health. And if you don't feel comfortable being in certain spaces, because of the number of people, because of whatever, stay home. It's okay.
And that is physical and mental. Hold space for you.
Yeah, no, it's everything, James. Physical, mental, financial. Okay, hold space for your health.
My Dr. Brandy, listen, we'll be here another 10 minutes, but that we got to come back to that. Hold space for your health, and I think that's a panel discussion. And we'll flop it a little bit, and we do like we do with Dee Dee's Cry, and you do the commentary, and I'll just do tech, because that is definitely important. Dr. B, we're down to the last couple of minutes. Again, we're not going to trade off crying. We're just going to trade off intentional celebration of one another and gratitude, and that I appreciate you. I really appreciate you, and thank you for helping us hold space for. I'm gonna incorporate that into your healthy Java. We'll send you royalties, Jesus.
Black oh gosh, why am I forgetting blanket?
Black Dollar.
Yeah, Black Dollar. He was like, hold on, that's gonna be a t-shirt. He was like, the whole go from your money being funny to your stacks is flat. He was like, yeah, that's a t-shirt.
It needs to be a t-shirt, and this needs to be something we incorporate too, because it is important to be intentional about holding space for your health. So Dr. B, I'm actually going to transition with the commercial because I was going to cover that today about the vaccination and whatnot, and then I will check in with you this week before. Are you around?
No, I'm actually heading down south
Okay.
this week. I will be back before the new year, though.
Okay.
But
We'll
yeah,
definitely pray for traveling mercies for you and your family, and
yes,
that everything be well. You get new, unexpected, wonderful news from nieces and nephews and whatnot, and
yeah.
loving
Like,
it.
look, not too unexpected. They're a little young.
Not that type. Look, in that case, Dr. Brandy, Merry Christmas. And we'll don't forget to tune in on Friday for Fridays 5 at 5. We no
We taking a break this Friday, but
we'll take
we'll
a
have
break
one.
next
Yeah.
Friday. We'll be back and close out. Actually, it'll be our last segment next Friday, the 31st, at 5 p.m. So tune in for Dr. Brandy and I there, and then we'll be back the first of the year with some more content for you and holding this space. Hold space for your health. And so that's what we'll be doing. Dr. Brandy,
Yeah.
love you.
That's what the segment's gonna be called. Hold space for your health.
I
But
like
yeah,
it.
thank you everybody. Have a great, great, great holiday. And I'll see y'all all in 2022.
Thank you, Dr. Brandy. I'll check in.
All right.
Well, COVID-19 has deeply hurt our community. I recognize that we needed to heal. Healing spiritually, healing emotionally, healing physically. That's why we knew we needed a vaccination clinic at 12th Baptist Church.
I just really had a lot of initial hesitation. From hesitation to education is how I got to a point of like being more hopeful. When I decided to get the vaccination, I really wanted to come here because I knew he had a site.
I was one of the first people when I was afforded the opportunity to be vaccinated, to be an example myself.
The vaccination will definitely change life. I want to get back to a life where I can be around my family and friends.
With every vaccination, we're one step closer to hope.
Join us, get vaccinated.
Have hope.
So I just noticed something. Last week I was on the front page of the Globe with the mayor. That face, because people were teasing me. Y'all see, I told y'all I don't mess with needles, and it was the same. I'm sitting here looking like, oh my God, it's the same exact face. So the needles have always been there. I didn't look last time. That's what messed me up. Anyway, just closing out with a little bit of Black joy, make y'all laugh a little bit. I'm going to close out with some of the comments. Know your health worth, Evelyn. Know your health worth. That is definitely it. You can't see it. It's the COVID boogie, woogie, woogie. But no, it's the props. Say a word. Say a word, brother. I just wanted to, again, and I'll do this probably Wednesday. I'll probably do a recap with the about Saturday. I'll do a recap. There are some pictures. It was a awesome time. Everyone that attended, everyone that watched, everyone that wanted to attend. Thank you. And I will not get into a lot of thank yous and names and details now, but there are two people that I have to acknowledge. One is Newt Johnson. I call him my manager. And I started to put a post up the other day because he is my manager. He manages me managing Java with Jimmy. I realized that this weekend. And so, Newt, I appreciate you. Props. You already know what it is, brother. And Chanel as well, that's setting the house vibes. I'll just stay with them for right now. But thank all of you that came. Thank all of you that participated, shared, commented. We'll talk more about it on Wednesday. But yeah, just join me with that prayer that I put on Facebook. We have the ability to petition God. We do have that ability. And right now, and Bishop Bragg used to talk about a break in it or cushion it. Death and transition is a part of life, but it doesn't negate the fact that it hits us. Even Jesus himself, when he found out that Lazarus was dead, shortest verse in the Bible, Jesus did what? He wept. And so these emotions are real. Let me say this. Allah had influence on a lot of people. And one thing that he had was street credibility. And there are a lot of brothers out there right now that may be watching, or if they're not, sisters tag them or splice out this segment. Brothers, any emotions that you're feeling right now, sit with them. Deal with them. Don't try to hide them. Don't try to hold it in. Be real. Allah was a real brother. So be real. Don't let what you think is masculinity hold you from an outer expression of what you feel for a good man. And so I'll leave that there. Yes, that's it for me today. Ma, these newfangled versions of the Bible may say Jesus wept. I'm old school. King James version, Jesus wept. Anyway, love you, Ma. All right, that's it for me today, everyone. Don't forget that I'm coming back with Darren Howell at 1 p.m. today. He's going to give us an update in reference to why the toy drive was canceled. And the toy drive event was canceled, but there's still good going on in the hood, and he's going to talk about that tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Please tell parents. Cases are up in school. I saw Kelly made a comment about her son's school. Tune in. You will be able to ask the experts questions tomorrow. We have a pediatrician. We also have the director of the Infectious Disease Bureau over at Boston's Public Health Commission. So tune in tomorrow at 9 a.m. And then don't forget on Thursday, we'll have the Honorable Representative Elizabeth Miranda will be in the room as well. And Wednesday, we'll do a recap of Saturday's event. And then also, I need to let you all know, I will probably take a break the week between Christmas and New Year's. I'm not sure, but I'm thinking about it. And so start thinking now. What were some of your favorite episodes of Java with Jimmy? Who were your favorite guests? Because if I do take the break, we're still being here virtually, but just may not be live. And so that's just something I'm considering. But I know I probably can't go 2 or 3 days without y'all. And then I want to see all y'all wonderful Christmas pictures and all that other stuff as well. So, all right. I'm rambling now. It's 9:45. Lasagna, is it okay for me to get off now? I think I've been doing good. You haven't got on me. Wait. Thaddeus, thank you. And Lasagna, yo, you're right on time. You're right on time. I appreciate y'all so much and love you all dearly. And as Dr. Brandy said, props, I'm not messing with you. Yo, the flyer, the aesthetics of Java with Jimmy is definitely all props. Appreciate you, brother. Really do. Really, really do. All right, that's it for me. I mean it this time. I'm out of here. We'll see you guys this afternoon at 1 p.m. I'm going to put the flyer out. Please share this flyer greatly because we need the community to hear directly from Darren in reference to the event being canceled. All right. Have a wonderful day. I see a couple of more comments. If y'all know Props, he's been trying to get on here and Props come in. You talk about strong brew. That's going to be that muddy, thick cafe. What is it? Bostelo. Just, ugh. Anyway, not about Props, but y'all know what I mean. Anyway, I'm off of here because we'll get caught up, y'all. I love y'all. I really appreciate y'all. We'll be back this afternoon at 1 p.m. with Darren Howe. Have a good day, everybody. Peace.